today's topic, I was told to speak about what happens after we leave. What happens after we call death happens, like what happens? So I was told to speak about this because there's a huge misunderstanding about what happens after death, and it creates a lot of what happened when we're here. So it is all based on a story that we have been told. So we create our world based on that story, right? Just like your friend. We all just living a story within a story. However, whose story are we living? Is it ours or is it someone else's, right? So last week was God, right? The topic of God and what God is, and coming into knowing that God is so simple. It's all around us. We don't have to leave this flesh to experience it. You can be an embodiment of it. And how do you know that is God that is in front of you? Well, it always brings love with him. And it's an action. Love is an action. And in that action is things that we do that make ourselves feel at our highest frequency, which is very happy. And we are open to do it for other people. That's how we know that we're in the presence of God. They always have this cuddly, safe, comfortable. However, freedom comes with it. And everything else just disappears. Nothing matters but that. Death, on the other hand, a lot of people don't know anything about it. It's all a story. I mean, we've been told that based on different religions, right? There's different stories about this death, just like God. So, excuse me. So as I was, sitting down with that in those times where I was afraid of death, as a mother, you have children, you want to, you always want to make sure they're doing well, So death happens to be something that mothers worry a lot about. So I was always in a constant fear of death. So when I went on this journey of healing, one of the questions I wanted answered to was that, what happens? It's a truth, what they say. And all of these doors started opening for me of how death was shown and what I saw with death. So they took me into a time where I was 11 years old and I was swimming in a lake in Dominican Republic and I die. Like I die. However, my memories of it, I was not dead. I was seeing everyone around. I saw my body, but I was not dead. I was able to experience it. I didn't have a body that I could see because I could see it laying there, but I was there. So it took me to that memory, and I went to speak to my mom about it. I guess the trauma that came with that, she never spoke about it. So when I brought it to her, she immediately pushed me away. She said, I don't want to talk about it. Please don't bring it back up. I never want to remember that moment in my life. And then I said, no, Mom, it's fine. I'm here. I'm with you here. And she's like, you don't know, you don't understand what it feels like when you see your child and is going to die, is dead, is dying, and I don't know what's on the other side. All I have is a story of what happens there. Her story of what happened after death was very terrifying story, and she was afraid that her daughter was going to go there without her. See the stories we tell ourselves. And then I said to her, Mom, I remember everything. I remember you were crying, you hold me, you were talking to my uncle about it, and I said to her everything she said. And she said, but how were you able to know what we were doing if you were dead? Then I said, the body was there, but whatever I was not. I was watching you guys from above. And my mom started crying. She said, what are you talking about? And I said, Mom, I always thought you knew. I thought you knew what happened to me. I thought everyone knew that when the body is resting, it returns back whenever it needs to be returned back, you still live on. There's still more of you. And whatever that is, my experience was it was very free. I could move easily, no restrictions whatsoever. I guess we can call that freedom. You know, it just felt right. It felt good. Felt like home. You know, every time I think about it. So in my journey of healing, I wanted clarification on that. And it was shown to me that that's what happens after this. That's what's on the other side. And there can always be a connection between us. But there happens to be something that is in this way of this connection. And that, whatever that is somehow related to your traumas. So that's how I came to the idea that if I was to help people find out what their traumas are, what is it that triggers you? What is it that bothers you? What is it that you're so afraid of? Let's figure this out, where it came from, and we can find that healing. In your process, I will be there because I've done it.